everyone. Let me just turn this down for now. Okay, it is Tuesday at 9 o'clock and the music wants to play. So we're just gonna move that off again. There we go. Hi, everyone. Okay, everything's running smooth today. I'm guessing the music really wants to play. Okay, everyone, now we got it. Okay, here we go. So it's Tuesday at now 9:02, and I want to thank you for joining. So here we are on another group healing call, and I'm pretty, I've got the computer set up, and I'm not going to complain about which computer because I have two going now, and I'm figuring them out slowly. Hello, everyone on the chat. There's Lynn, Richard, and Amanda so far. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Um, I was thinking, what are we going to talk about today? And what keeps coming up, what keeps resonating with me? And I'm like, no, I don't want to talk about that. But it keeps coming up. And so I believe what I am going to chat about is the amount of different, I guess, events or issues, problems, uncertainty, people of all walks of life. Now, when I say all walks of life, I'm going to keep it to the GTA. Uh, People who are, working, they're doing the best they can, they're off work because they're not feeling well, they may have lost their job. Because a lot of people in our society, the society that we live in, that most people on this call can relate to, is one where we do not want people to see us hurting. We don't want people to see really what's happening inside of us. So when we go out of the house, we kind of put ourselves together. We kind of look a little bit better than we did inside. We kind of put our best foot forward, which is lovely, right? Because, we're going to try to hold the light for everyone and everything that we meet, let's say. So I'm going to talk about people who are a little more aware, because we know that we're supposed to hold a light. We know our thoughts and actions and perceptions matter. And if we're just coming into knowing this for some people. So when you go on a healing journey, or even people who aren't on healing journeys, there's the part of us that we don't want anyone to see. We don't want anyone to see us. Actually, sometimes we don't want to see anyone either, but we will get into that. We'll get about trying to put the mask on for society and mask on for our friends, our family, our kids, and everyone else. It's kind of hard to hold that persona together, to be that bubbly individual, that high vibing individual, that positive individual, because we all have our duality, we all have our healing that we're going through. This is a planetary healing that we're going through. It is a human consciousness healing we're going through. And it's a very personal healing that we're going through. So, in many calls, I have said, hey, I've had my share of issues and releasings and traumas and healings, right? And I've been doing this a long time, actually. Sometimes I'm like, okay, what's next? Sorry about that. I'm just making sure my Wi-Fi was on. What's that? What's next? What's going to happen? And I just like, okay, I'm just going to go with the flow, but things bubble up. So, this is the frustration that a lot of people are bringing to my attention. And this is why I want to talk about it, because I have also gone through this frustration over the years and even more recently. And then people go, Brenda, that's really upsetting to hear that sometimes you don't feel good. Because if you lose it sometimes, that alignment, how do you expect us to hold it? Well, we are human. The other interesting thing is people will say, well, if you're an energy worker and you're doing this and this, Why do some energy workers get sick? Why do bad things still happen? Why do? Just because somebody is in this type of work doesn't mean that they are not human, does not mean that they are not learning through the 3D duality. So there's a lot of pressure for some people to really hold it together in front of everybody. And this is where I am, I usually come in and I'll just have you, whoa, I'm feeling this and it doesn't feel so good. The reason I try to be as honest as possible, if you can realize that it is to be human, whoever you are, and you're not alone in being human, so then you understand that, yeah, we can always raise to a better level and raise and work our way up and work our way up. But in that, there are lessons to be learned, and you might drop out of alignment. You might go through an event or events that are very uncomfortable, but the events don't stop. Life doesn't stop. What changes is your perception of what's my role in this. I know I'm going to get through this. You feel the support and love of the universe. You realize what we're going through is for the best of humanity and ourselves. You realize the learning lessons are just that, learning lessons. We try not to take life too seriously. We develop a kind of a back and forth between 3D reality and 5D reality. And what does that mean exactly? It's when you're looking at a situation and you're in the drama of the situation and you're reacting to people coming at you, or you're getting angry or triggered or whatever it is. It could be a work situation. And then there's that other part of you that can see it from a different perspective and laugh at it and say, wow, that person really drew me into that argument. And really, it's such a silly thing. Or, you know what, you can be in a higher state of alignment when someone's coming at you and you're like just keeping your cool and realizing it's a them problem, not you, but you don't want to really escalate it. Now, when we're going through healing and journeys, another question I get is, it's okay to have bad days. And I know I say, hey, hold the light as best as you can. So now if someone's not holding the light and they're in depression or sadness, they're like, oh, Brenda, I feel like I failed. Feeling like those lower vibrations, like failure, guilt, shame, embarrassment for something that we're doing now or in the past, that's actually kind of a lower energy you want to get out of. Those are us judging us. The beings of love, God, does not judge us for our mistakes. Everything we've ever done is forgiven. So no matter, like, some people say, oh, but I've done something so horrible. And I have some really neat stories I'm going to start sharing on that coffee time with Brenda and friends, because it'd be quite interesting to see what some people have gone through and how they snap out of it. And some of these are just, regular issues that the common person has. Like, for instance, someone might have a trauma, even just watching a movie, which made them fear getting pregnant as a child. Now, later on in life, they're having a hard time getting pregnant. And sometimes it's just an energetic release of that trauma they saw in a movie. Sometimes it's easy, but then sometimes they're much bigger things. So I think I'd like to take the taboo out of, you know, not feeling your best or feeling depressed or feeling sad. As long as you're doing the work, you're in awareness that, hey, this is where I'm at today. Or, hey, I did something that I'm a little embarrassed about, but I'm going to let it go, because we all make mistakes. We're all human. It's something I learned from. And hey, sometimes regret is just an indication you've grown. And now you can look at the past and say, you know what? I have changed, and with that changed, I am here today. So that version of Brenda that did that, that version of me when I did that version, all those different versions of me brought me to where I am today. Now, with that being said, some people will still get frustrated and really beat themselves down for not being the best version of them all the time. That's something I can't magically take away. That's something that one has to really work on with themselves and be okay with the past and be okay with the decisions and really forgive yourself, and then forgive those who may have been involved, and forgive the just everything about it, the whole scenario. And some people say, well, I don't know how to forgive. And some people have actually said, I have forgiven, but I'm still not letting it go. And that goes because a lot of the stuff that we go through are in our cell memory. So a lot of healings will go to that cellular memory and start to release at that level. But even calls like this, when we get into the healing session, and actually the energies are really already flowing. I can feel pressure in my head. It's coming through already. So when we're talking, we're already starting that healing process. So if you're starting to feel a little bit lightheaded, dizzy, tingling sensations, just know all is okay. The healing is kind of happening already in the background, and we're it's all good. And what happens in a healing session is the layers coming up, right? And what's in your layer, it can be so many different things, thousands of things actually. 20% of this, 5% of that, 2% of that. And are you going to know what's in your field? Not necessarily. Probably not. You might not even know anything in your field, but you may have a general idea of the emotion around it, or the feelings around it, or maybe you remember an old memory, but you don't really have to worry about what's releasing, because if it's releasing, it's no longer needed. And that's the beauty of it. And it's releasing things from this timeline, or this life, a past life, future lives, all in between. And we don't have to understand what's releasing, but if you're feeling something bubbling up, just allow it to come to the surface and allow it to transmute out of your system. And really, what we're doing on planet Earth right now is we're releasing that darker, denser part of humanity, that duality, the darkness, the consciousness that's not so nice within us, the ego. We can call it so many different things. We're releasing layers of that and bringing in light. So our light quotient is increasing, our vibration is increasing, our frequency is increasing. And why is that important? Like, for someone who's just new to this and they're thinking, well, I don't even understand what Brenda's saying, so let's bring it back to something very basic. If you're feeling low, sad, depressed, angry, frustrated, how does your body feel when you feel that? It feels heavy, right? Why is it feeling heavy? Because those are heavier emotions, or denser emotions, or darker emotions. So they have like a lower frequency, a lower vibration. And when you're tapped into that energy field, and a lot of 3D people, a lot of humanity's in that frequency, that's where, I'm going to say, you're watching the, not you, I'm just saying, people are watching the news. What does that do? It's a low frequency. They're seeing people argue, they're fighting with people, they're getting triggered, they're frustrated, they want to yell and scream, or they're depressed and they're very, very low energy, just want to stay in bed and they just don't even care. Depression is one of the lowest energies that's closest to death. It's just like such a heavy energy. You don't want to do anything. You're just laying there. There's a lot of darkness there, very little light. So when we start to move up the vibrational scale, you're moving up the vibrational scale. What does that mean? It means your frequency is going up, your vibrations increasing. You're getting into lighter emotions, okay? When I say lighter emotions, so you're getting like into hopefulness and curiosity and possibility, and then that's kind of not a bad place to be. It's better than being in that low density, those lower vibrations. But what you want to do is keep working your way up to the higher vibrations of love, of joy, of compassion. And what you'll notice is it's lighter up there. Like the frequency's lighter. There's less traffic up there because a lot of humanity is down here. But we can go from down here to up there. We kind of wave through. For some of us, our average might be really low all the time. Some people may dip into hopefulness and then dip down. We're all, I always say, where's your average? Where do you usually hang out? It kind of gives you a good indication of where you're at. You cannot expect a very angry or a very depressed person to suddenly, seeing rainbows and lollipops and smiling, and it doesn't quite work that way. for most of us, we have to kind of move up that vibrational ladder, and it takes work. And then when we're up high and we're feeling great, elated, inspired, and happy, well, once we start to like dip for whatever reason, maybe something happened in our lives and we're starting to dip because our emotional field, we're feeling heavy, we're starting to go down. Well, when you start to live in that higher vibration of that really light feeling, once you start to dip, you do not like that feeling. It's an odd feeling. You don't want to go down there anymore. And sometimes we're going down anyway because there's so many different factors that can affect our moods, our emotional states. Sometimes it's actually a healing layer that's come to the surface. So here I am feeling so good, everything's working out, but I have this heaviness, this gross feeling. I'm like, what is that feeling? Like, I don't know where it's coming from. It's usually, sometimes, I'm not saying it's usually for me, because I know now, I can feel what it is. It's a layer of trauma or past stuff coming up to the surface. And because it's coming up for the surface, it's in our face and we feel really icky and frustrated. But then once we release it, we feel light again. So we're like yo-yos, right? Up, down. And it gets really frustrating for a lot of us. So be kind to yourself. Take those deep breaths to reconnect. And sometimes when you're going through them, and I'm just saying this from experience of myself and some others, no matter what you do, you just can't seem to shake the feeling. So you try, deep breathing, try EFT, the tapping, you try talking to a friend, you try meditating. And then people say, well, I don't even know how to meditate. And then they go to sleep and they don't feel good. Sometimes that healing has to take place for you to kind of get back to normal. With that being said, a lot of people can't meditate because of that busy mind. The busy mind's jumping here and there and everywhere. Whenever we want to do something good for ourselves, we can get interference. No, Brenda's not going to meditate today. She's going to go take care of this and this and this and that. So it's really hard to sit and try to meditate, right? Meditating is really focusing that mind into this is what I'm going to think about. Have you ever really thought about that? Where does your mind get these thoughts? Why is it that I'm trying to sit here quietly and meditate, yet all these things are running through my mind? Who's doing that? And has anyone ever thought that? Because, that's that duality in us. That's how when I say that's how I express it, that's how I feel it, that's what resonates with me. Now, a lot of people will express it differently, and that's a-okay too, because that's their perception of it. Just like when you might have 5 or 10 people walking down the same street and they're having the same experience, let's say, and all 10 people are going to remember that a little bit differently. So, for instance, the person who's in fear and worry all the time in a lower vibration is going to walk down the street and say, oh my gosh, that was so scary. Everyone was looking at me mean, and I saw this rat running on the floor, and I saw a creepy spider. And then you have all the different in between. Then you have the other person who's in high vibration walk down the street. Oh my gosh, I saw this rainbow. I saw these cute birds playing, and then a butterfly walked by, and everyone was smiling. How does everyone have there's 10 people there and they're all having their own versions of what's happening? Because we are attracting based on our perceptions and beliefs and our vibrational levels. And there's so many more things because we're very multidimensional. So when it comes to the way I understand my staying in awareness, and I'm thinking, okay, when I'm trying to meditate, and I'm saying back in the day when I would try to meditate, I'd be like, you gotta make the kids lunches, you gotta do this, you gotta do this. What are you doing? You can sit here for 2 minutes of yourself? How dare you sit here for 2 minutes? Get off your butt and get to work. So I'm just like, oh yeah, I can't meditate, I got things to do. Like, what was that voice inside of me telling me that I couldn't sit down for a few minutes? That was my duality. That was my either my ego, or I see it as, to me, it was the dark side of me that likes me just the way I am, confused and chaos in my life, and I'm all over the place and I can't think straight. Because when I quiet that part of me down and I come into my divinity, where I can have a peaceful mind, I can connect, I feel that love of God, I know I'm important. Well, what does that do? That takes away the power of the darkness within us. And I don't care who you are. Well, maybe some yogis out there, so I'll be careful what I say. But most of humanity has duality in them. They have the light and the dark. And for some, the dark is very, very strong. For a lot of people working through it, they teeter between the light within them and the dark within them. So we want to make good choices because we're divine beings. I'm going to make good choices. And then there's that other part of us that has us make a choice that maybe I shouldn't have made. How many people will say, I knew I should have went right, but I went left? Or I knew to do that and I didn't do that. Or I knew that was not going to be a good relationship and I still walked in it. Or, I knew this, I knew that. And why do we make then the wrong decision? That's because we're either listening to the inspiration that says, yes, do it, that's the right thing, or we're being interfered with from a desire to do the wrong thing. And depending on our alignment that day, depending on our awareness that day, we are either going to be pulled to make a decision from the divinity within us, or we're going to be pulled to a decision from the darker side within us. But is that anything to be embarrassed about? Absolutely not. This is the human condition at this time. This is what we are healing at this time. So, for anyone who wants to pretend they're not going through something and they just want to keep their world as perfect as they can because they don't want it to change, unfortunately, people like that are going to start to wake up and realize what we're going through right now is changing whether we know about it or don't know about it, like it or don't like it. I get it. It's very uncomfortable. It actually sometimes, and this week, I don't know, a lot of people have been saying what has gone on this week. The amount of energetic interference out there that can cause people to go off kilter or feel very imbalanced has been very high. So I'm hearing it from many different people. Now, what I want us to know, these are people that are just like you and I. They have families, they go to work, they're making ends meet, they're having as much fun as they can, and they're holding this face out there and say, hey, yeah, I got it all together, but inside they're hurting. There are some people having lighter lives out there, and that's beautiful. But if you're one of those people that are going through a healing journey and you really are not feeling great, don't be embarrassed about it. If you need help, reach out for help. There are so many, avenues for help. If you're during a call like this, there's so many things on YouTube that are available for meditations or self-help or breathing. Read a book, go for a walk in nature, ground yourself, talk to your guides. When you ask, you'll receive. Sometimes if you just have nowhere to turn, talk to God. Just say, listen, what I'm carrying right now is so heavy. Please take it off my shoulder. And then trust, know, and believe that they're going to show you that next step that might be an easier step for you. We want to allow that ease and flow. We want to allow the messages back because we can ask, but if you don't receive, well, that's not really doing you any good. So one time, I remember someone said, somebody's asking, it's just a little joke, but someone was asking, oh, I want to win the lottery, I want to win the lottery, and then God said, well, at least buy a ticket. All that meant to me, it made me laugh, was you can ask and ask and ask and ask, but you have to do the actions to receive. So if you ask and then don't allow it, why ask? But asking is good. But then some people go, I'm asking, I just don't know how to receive. And getting into the receiving mode does take some time to figure out what that feels like, because we're so used to giving and giving, we forget how to receive. So today, when we do this, um, I believe that the so I'm just reading someone's task. I've heard the only way out of duality is to pass over. Um, that's interesting, Richard. You have a good question there. And I'm going to say this is what I resonate with. All right. I believe duality of the light and dark on this planet has been around for thousands of years. I believe that we are in the midst of great change, uncharted territory. Human evolution is going through the ascension process with planet Earth. In that, there is a lot of healing that's needed at the human conscious level and the personal level. In this new energy, and this is a new energy, where the light is now higher than ever before on the planet, where things are now resonating more towards light. Although I know when you look at the world right now, you're going to say, no, it's not that, Brenda. It doesn't look like that. I get it. Right now, we're going through this cleaning up of the dark energy. So it's very uncomfortable. So, that aside, we'll take it down to a personal level. I believe that over time, a person, if they're doing the work, their light quotient is going to increase and increase and increase. And eventually, there is a point in time where the light is actually stronger than the dark within you. And you can stay in the light a lot easier because you have kind of, there's almost a threshold of where the dark's going to beat your it's going to be stronger and kind of get you into a life where it's not so easy. But there's kind of this changing point when you do the work that your light is actually stronger than the dark within you. It's like you've kind of not beat the ego. You need the ego. Like, we need to live life. So you kind of brought the ego into a controllable form where it's kind of working with you now, not against you. The ego is not all that bad. For instance, if I were to say if I was a hunter back in the day, and my ego would say, "Hey, careful! In that cave, there's a lion or a tiger." Well, that ego is there to keep me alive. It wants to keep me alive, and there it is, and I'm going to see it. Okay, yes, it probably would elect fear, but really what it's doing is electing discernment and prudence, so I stay away from that so I can go hunt food and bring it back to my family and survive. So, is the ego all bad? No. What I feel is the ego over time has kind of created itself into something bigger, along with a lot of the negative, dense energy on the planet. So, here we are working on ourselves to get back to our divinity, work through our traumas, our belief systems, our past life stuff, our karma. And as we're chipping it away, we are reclaiming who we truly are. So, even these, you're never going to become more magnificent than you are. You're already this beautiful being of light. The way and what resonates with me is we have interference in our system that we are slowly pulling out the interference so my light can shine through. And then the more that we do that, our light's getting bigger and bigger. We're getting more connected. When I'm more connected, I'm getting more information from divinity. Now, here I am holding more light. The darkness within me doesn't bother me so much because I can feel it. I'm like a virus scanner. If I have a negative thought, I stop it right away. And I'm like, nope, I'm bringing in the light. But I'm going through life and I'm living amongst 3D people. And when I say 3D people, we know the ones that are very angry and frustrated. And when they see me, they just want to run. Now, what I just recently learned is if I'm staying in this state of 3D, now I have not gotten past clearing all of my duality. Don't get me wrong. I have just come to a point where the darkness within me is definitely under control. I know it still can be there. I do something every day to help release it. And I believe I still have lots of work to do, but I'm getting higher and higher on the vibrational scale. And we will eventually, I'll get back to the other thing, but we will eventually, on this new earth, and I believe it might take generations, we will get to a place of right now we're between dark and light. And we are going to move into the new world of light versus more light, love versus more love. And I won't say I had arguments with people, but people will say you need dark to have duality. You need dark to have contrast. Absolutely, you do. And I believe humanity has had enough contrast and duality, enough experiences to tap into and say, yeah, I remember what that was like. I remember that. I personally don't need it anymore. So I choose to let it go. So peace comes from within. And when you can come to a place of peace within, that peace then start to show up in our outside world. So right now with everything going on in the world, and we think, how is that ever going to become peace? How it comes from within. So you have people like us that are doing the work, and we're working so hard to bring in more light, like to show our light more and get rid of the dense energy, so we can be the light holders of the planet, remembering the light dissolves darkness a lot faster, right? So like more than ever before. So we don't need everyone on planet Earth to go through this. So we can hold the light and help them along. So I could talk for hours about this. Actually, we should have like an offline chat about this with a bunch of people who are interested, because it'd be a lot of fun. But I want to go back, and now I've lost that thought, but there was an example I was getting to. Oh, yes. Okay. So here we are. I'm doing my best to live a 3D life. I'm sorry, a 5D life. And I'm also trying to be in 3D and interact with people and go to the store and be as kind as possible. Now, let's say somebody, this is an example that was brought to my attention, someone comes with their car and runs over my garden. And like, that's my garden. I like my garden, but I'm not supposed to be mad because I'm like this 5D person. But what I can say is like, excuse me, I would appreciate if you didn't do that again, because that's my garden and I like my garden. Now, the person's gonna look at you like, what the heck is she talking about? She's not yelling or screaming at me. But I can stay in my power, stand up for myself and my garden without causing negative energy. Meaning, I'm not plotting against how I'm going to destroy my neighbor's garden. I'm not plotting against how I'm going to get back at that person. I'm not plotting on how to, get back, or whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. I'm not plotting against that person. I'm not adding negative energy. What I have done is I stayed in my power. I stood up for myself and I said, hey, don't do that again. So there's prudence and discernment, and that develops more, and that's what I never had. And I'm going to truly admit that online here. I lacked prudence and discernment. I always thought I was on planet Earth to hold the light for humanity and give until I was drained towards exhaustion, because A, I didn't know how to receive, B, I didn't know how to make right choices, because I made right choices based on everyone else's needs, not mine. So that was a big learning lesson for me. And sometimes I still question, okay, what is the right thing to do for my well being? So I'm learning. And actually, someone said, oh my gosh, Brenda, if you're still learning, how much do I have to learn? Don't compare yourself to me, because maybe you'll learn faster than me. I always laugh and say I have kind of a thick skull and I have to see things many, many times before it sinks in, although now it's getting a lot better. I had a lot of resistance to allowing myself to have that love. So I know you get it, Richard, but I don't know how we got onto that. I read your thing, and that was such a great conversation. So thank you for the question. I realize we're kind of at like 9:36, so let's get into the healing. Maria says she can't hear me. I'm hoping people were able to hear me, and I'm sorry, Maria, if it's just you. But no one else has said that. So I sometimes get out and come back in. That might help. So we're going to start with the healing part. And again, the energy's already been flowing through. I've been feeling it all this time. And now we're going, thank you, Lynn, for confirming volume's good. Um, I am going to get in that music flowing. We'll get into that love, and we'll get this healing happening. Now, for those of you who are watching this that are new, for those of you watching this in the future, you're included. You're included whether you know what you're doing right now. You're like, okay, what am I going to expect? I have had people come to me and say, hey, Brenda, the energy's too intense and I couldn't handle it. If you can stake it out, this beautiful energy that comes in, you're only going to get what you can handle. Your higher self is protecting you and loving you. It's only going to release what you can release. So sometimes that uncomfortable feeling that people say they feel like their hearts go in, they're feeling anxiety, that is the energy, that darker energy, that resistant energy, that's slowly going to be pulled gently out of your field and replaced with love and light. If you can manage to stay with us while we get this done, you're going to feel so much lighter afterwards. But a lot of people end up like, I can't do it, I can't do it. You can do it. I know you can do it. Just tap into the divinity within you. Say, I can do this. Talk to your angels, talk to your guides, and say, I'm ready to heal. I'm going to take or allow deep breaths. I'm going to allow that love to come in, and we're going to get this done. All right, everyone? I'm just going to drink a little bit. I'll get the music, and we will start. All right, we got the music going. I got my. Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm going to talk now. Sorry. Here. I'm going to talk now and see if the levels are okay. I'll put the. Oh, wow. Perfect. Thank you, Lynn. I like this. I'm on track today. A lot of good things happening today. You know, I feel very connected, very enlightened. I've had a lot of downloads, lots of information. And as I finally really understand them, I will pass them on to you guys. Sometimes they're still just working their way through to get the answers that I've been looking for. So here we go with this healing today. I want to thank everyone for joining because it is your energy. It is your love that is going to come together as a group. And we are going to send this healing not just to us, not just to our families and friends, pets and homes. We are then going to send this out to humanity. Oh, good. Maria's back. Thank you. Great. So when we get into that time where I say, hey, let's send the intention of this love and light to just weave through Mother Earth. Just imagine this beautiful light wrapping around Mother Earth. It's going to be so beautiful. We're in this together. And the amount of healing that happens in these calls are phenomenal. It just makes me tear up with the love that I feel in these calls. So either sitting down, laying down, get comfortable. You can close your eyes, you can open your eyes. There's no right or wrong. If you're starting to feel dizzy, so am I, but just breathe into it. We want you taking deep breaths. And these deep breaths are going to be at your own pace, but you're going to be breathing in, filling your tummy with lots of air, and then exhaling. And we want you to get into a steady rhythm of deep breathing that is comfortable with you during this time, during this meditation. The key here is I want you to feel relaxed. I love that word, relaxed. I say it too much, but relaxed, calm. I want a peace to come over you. This beautiful love of God, the angels, the universe, source, whatever you want to call it, the name doesn't matter. You know that feeling. That feeling of love just is going to wash over you at this time. It is coming through your crown from the heavens. And we're asking Mother Earth's energy to come in from the bottom of our feet, increasing into our legs. And we're just going to take a few moments here to breathe, allow, and feel. At this time, I can't even stop smiling because it feels so good. I've been waiting for this all day, so thank you everyone for joining. I love Tuesdays. They come very quickly, and I like that. Breathing in, allowing these waves of love to penetrate your essence. And this energy is loving, it's compassionate, and it's so intelligent. It knows exactly what you need at this time. There's a healing happening just specifically for you. You're in your own octahedron of love and light. Your higher self is presenting issues and events and memories and traumas and so much more that we don't understand. It's coming up for healing. And by the love of God and the spirit of our beings of light, these lower, no longer needed energies are slowly being transmuted out of our field, off of the earth plane. And as that's happening, beautiful light is entering our fields, our essence, and raising our frequency and vibration into a calm state, one of peace and knowing that you are safe, that you are loved, that you are known. Just breathing that in, allowing and accepting the energy and the healing at this time. Every cell of your body is getting exactly what it needs at this time. It's like this weaving of energy. Some people are feeling it weave through. Some people might be feeling tingly, others seeing colors. Memories might be popping up. Just let them go. They're no longer needed at this time. Allow the healing. You can say, I allow this healing. I deserve this healing. I am love. I am free. I am love. And with this love, we're allowing our personal healing. We are now going to expand it into our homes as this beautiful master light starts to weave in through our homes, being made available to our family that's home, our pets. This light is also dissolving any energy that might be lingering around after someone's been crying or arguing. We're just having that melt away. And although we cannot force this energy on anyone, we sure can make it available. And at this time, know that your healing continues. Your home is still being cleansed and brought to a higher state of consciousness and love. And your pets are being healed in all aspects that they need. And at this point, if you have any special intentions you want to bring up, you can just simply say them in your head or aloud to your guides. And just simply ask for the energy to be made available to so-and-so. You don't need to say what's wrong with them. This energy knows exactly what they need at this time. And it doesn't matter if this person is next door or overseas or even transitioned. You can send that loving energy as it transcends time and space and distance. And if anyone has any emotions bubbling up at this time, just allow them to process. You don't need them anymore. Just allowing them, acknowledging and allowing them to leave and transmute. There's beautiful healing happening here tonight. And as our healing continues, we're now setting the intention that this beautiful light comes together in this wonderful, powerful beam. And we're going to imagine, intend, and know that it's starting to weave through Mother Earth. It is such a powerful beam of light that will surround Mother Earth in its entirety with everything and everyone on it. So you can imagine the light weaving through the oceans and the forests and the fields and the farmlands and the cities and the mountains and the valleys. The forests and the jungles, and every animal on this planet is being surrounded by love. Every human on this planet is being surrounded by love. Every water molecule and air molecule on this planet is being surrounded by love. As it's weaving through the essence of Mother Earth, the atmosphere, the land masses, the water systems, into the human consciousness of humanity. And this light is so powerful, even the darkest places on earth is feeling the love as the darkness is being dissolved. And this is the time where you, in your magnificence, can help change this world into the positive by sending this beautiful, powerful love beam from your heart to all areas of Mother Earth, to all countries, to all cities, to all towns and villages. You can almost imagine this beautiful white beam of flowing light moving slowly but yet so fast, so powerful yet so gentle. We're all in this together. As you heal, Mother Earth heals. As Mother Earth heals, you heal. We are instilling hope and peace. As peace comes from within, and right now we're all feeling very peaceful. If you're still releasing things, allow them to release. Your peace will come later on tonight. Just be with the process wherever you're at. It's all okay. You are beautiful. You are loved. You matter. You are known. You are free. It is the children, the animals, the plants of this planet that are so open to receiving. The energy is so intense today. Wow. I'm buzzing all over. It's beautiful. We're all in this together. We're setting this light together. It is so very strong that's just dissolving the darkness in its way so easily, transmuting it off of this earth plane. It's so powerful today that I would not be surprised if we hear a beautiful shift towards peace on this planet. As we bring this peace from within to our reality. The healing's continuing at your personal level, at a planetary level. And now we're going to even intend this to be bigger, sending this beautiful beam of light into the heavens, the universe, the multiverse, sending it back to the beings of love that love us so. We're all in this together. What you bless blesses you back. We are so thankful for their support and love through all these changes we're going through on planet Earth. Through our own self-growth and self-love and self-exploration and self-healing. We are so supported and loved, and we're sending that love back to them. Although we may not know who or what they are, we have a sense of the love they have for us. And we thank them. And we thank this beautiful universe. And we thank Mother Earth and the sacred elements. And our fellow brothers and sisters. Because we are all one. We're all in this together. And compassion and peace and love are the most powerful energies on planet Earth at this time. And if you can hold that in your day-to-day as much as possible, then you're playing a very important role in this healing of our planet. You are magnificent. You are so powerful and so beautiful. Reclaim your birthright of all those beautiful things that you deserve. You are deserving and worthy of the love of God. You are that love of God. It resides within you. We're going back to unity. We're going back home. And I'd say this music is ending the meditation with quite the powerful bang. For those who wish to stay in meditation, just simply turn off the recording, drift into sleep, and allow this love to do whatever it needs for you. This energy generally will last for 3, 4, and some people report 5 days. Drink lots of water, keep an allowance. And for those of you who'd like to stay on and listen to the singing bowl, I'll be getting that out in just a minute. The energy is flowing very intensely at this time. Okay, so we have the music off. I'm going to bring out the singing bowl. So you can just stay in that relaxed state you're in. And what the singing bowl is going to do, it does sound healing wherever you need it. It's also going to help process the energy, and it might bring you back to more grounding so you can get rid of that dizzy feeling if you're in that dizzy feeling at this time. But once again, if you want to stay in that meditation, you can do so just by hanging up and just staying with that. Thank you all for joining, and I'm going to bring out the bowl. That was lovely, very powerful today. I say that every day, but it just seems like every time we get together, it's more powerful. And I don't know if I'm the only one feeling that, but I just feel the intensity is getting stronger every week. So it looks like Richard was dancing. Now that I wish I could see. Maybe Richard, you should send me a video of that. That would make my day actually. I promise I will not post it anywhere, just for my eyes. Although I can mentally picture you right now. But all right, everyone, that was very beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me. So I guess we'll be back. I don't have the new schedule up, but because of the heaviness that a lot of people are feeling, we'll definitely be back next Tuesday, which I believe is a Halloween night. So you know what? We'll do it anyway. Actually, it's a good day to do that. So we'll have our next Tuesday. We'll be online at 9 p.m. How's that? Okay, everyone. Have a blessed night. Thank you all so much for joining. Sleep well, drink lots of water, and if you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to email me or text me, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Have a beautiful night, everyone. Thank you.